welcome back to a Dominic show video. It's been a while, but that's because we were moving and stuff, so we're in a new house now. But today we're going to be reviewing this Goosebumps tin, and it's for, I think, the 20th anniversary, and it's a bunch of different Goosebumps book in one, and like in this container, the original one. So I'll be reviewing them from worst to best, and telling you guys if I rate it 1 out of 10 stars. And I'll tell you a little bit about the book. So spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
For Goosebumps books. Alright, so here's the first one in last place in this tin. In fifth place we have, what's it called? The Haunted School. We have The Haunted School. And it's pretty much, I haven't read this for a while, but it's about Tommy, this kid named Tommy, and his parents, like, he's in a new house and he moves, and at this new school that he goes to, he gets trapped in there, like in the haunted part of the school, and there's all these weird kids that, like, he finds this classroom that says 1964, and there's a bunch of stones, there's a bunch of kids made out of stone in there. It's really cool. But if I had to review it out of 10, like 1 out of 10, I would have to rate it a 7.
Oh, okay.
I liked it. It was just the only problem with it was a little bit slow, but other than that, it's a good book.
All right.
So, in fourth place, we have Piano Lessons Can Be Murderous. Now, this is the first Goosebumps book I read here, and it was pretty good. It was about this kid, and his name is Jerry. And he's in this new house, and he finds this piano in his attic, and he starts, and it like plays by itself, and he finds out that there's a ghost playing it.
Whoa.
And the ghost you later find out that the ghost is actually the good guy in the book. But when he goes to this piano lesson school, because he wants to take piano lessons, his teacher is really weird, and we find out at the end of the book, spoilers, that his new piano lesson teacher is actually, he like wants to have his hands, like, cause he's building robots to like play different pianos, because he can't really do it himself, so he wants to steal kids' hands to play them. But it's a weird story, but it's good. I would have to rate it again as a 7 out of 10. It was a good book, and it was definitely faster than the last. But yeah.
All right.
All right. Next up is where we get to the actually really good books. So here we go. We got in third best place. We have The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. This one was a good one. It's about this kid, and he gets this dog, and he names him Wolf. And he gets his new friend named Will, and a lot of the Goosebumps books, they're in like a new house and something's wrong with it in their neighborhood or something. But he finds this new kid named Will, and him and Will go play by the swamp. And we later found out that at the end of the book, Will is actually the werewolf of Fever Swamp, and they think it's the swamp hermit, which is the guy who lives in the swamp. And that was a surprising part to me. But after that, Will actually bites the main kid, and then the main kid, he becomes the werewolf, and Will passes it on to him. And at the end of the book, pretty much the main kid pretty much goes with Wolf, and they go hunting, and that's pretty much the end. So he's actually the werewolf, Will.
Wow.
So that was a good one. If I had to rate it, probably an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Almost a 9, but that was a good one.
Yeah, Goosebumps has a lot of cool twists.
Yeah, I love the twist. Like that one might have one of the best twists. Oh, actually, no, this one does.
What's this one?
This is the second Goosebumps book ever made. I think 1992, and this is in the second best in my collection.
It's
it
cool
is
cover.
Called "Stay Out of the Basement."
Stay out of the basement.
Yeah, it was cool. Cassie and what's his name? His sister, but Cassie. And his sister, their dad named Dr. Brewer, he's always in his basement, and he never has time to spend time with his kids.
Uh-huh.
So, pretty much, they sneak into the basement when he's not home, and they find like all this weird tropical jungle in the basement, and it's like a rainforest in there, and like every day they keep seeing these weird things, like their dad is growing, like their dad is like wearing these baseball cap, and he hates baseball, but he's just wearing it for some reason, and when it falls off of him,
And he won't take it off, right?
yeah, he won't take it off no matter what, and then like a week later, it flies off of his head because of like the wind, and we see that he doesn't have hair anymore, and he's sprouting leaves out of his head.
Whoa.
And he's becoming the monster pretty much, and there's a big twist at the end. So the twist is that there's like two of their dad, because like their dads, because one of them was locked in the closet over in the basement, and then the other one was the one that they've been living with. And it turns out that the one that they've been living with was their real dad, and the one in the closet was their fake dad, and he's actually a plant created by the original dad.
Mad scientist stuff.
Mm-hmm. So you would have to read it to understand it more, but it's a great book, and the ending is amazing. So, yeah.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, I would rate this a 10.
Wow.
This is a 10 out of 10.
And there's a really good Goosebumps episode from the Goosebumps show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, First Day Out of the Basement. It's a two-parter, so it's 5 minutes long. It's a great episode. I watched it. So yeah, this is number 2. And finally, number 1 in my Goosebumps 10 is my favorite Goosebumps book ever. Well, that I've read. I've only read like 11, even though there's like 250 of them.
Yeah.
But this is number 1. It is The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. So it's about this kid, and pretty much, he has this sister named Tara, and he calls her Tara the Terrible because she's super annoying. And pretty much, she always busts and breaks stuff, like the main kid's stuff. And what's the main kid's name? Michael. So Michael, he pretty much, he goes into the, like, on his birthday, he gets like this bike, and his dad gets a cuckoo clock, a big tall cuckoo clock, and he goes into the basement, and the garage, and that's where the cuckoo clock is, and he twists its head backwards, so he like breaks it, the bird that flies out, and he thinks that his parents will blame Tara, and she'll get in trouble. But the next day, things start going backwards, and day by day, like one day, like pretty much time is going backwards, so it's like you're going back in time. Like the next day he wakes up, he's like 4 days younger.
Wow.
And the next day he's like 8 instead of 12, and the next day he's like 4, and he has to go to the shop because they haven't bought the cuckoo clock yet. He has to go to that shop so he can find the cuckoo clock and twist it back. But he's like 3, so it's gonna be hard for him.
Yeah.
And it's a super tall cuckoo clock, so yeah, I have to rate this in 11 out of 10.
Whoa.
And that's crazy.
The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and the cover is so cool. Goosebumps has some of the coolest covers.
Yeah. And I recommend that if you guys get a Goosebumps book, you should probably get the originals or the 2000, because I read the new Slappy World books, and I didn't really like them. They have cool colors. They have some of the coolest covers, but I just think the originals are the best.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, that's my ranking on my Goosebumps 10 of The Haunted School, Piano Lessons Can Be Murderous, The Werewolf of Beaver Swamp, Stay Out of the Basement, and The Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
All right.
That's my ranking. So.
And are there any other Goosebumps books that aren't in this collection that you've read that you would recommend?
Yeah, the books that I've recommended are, I think I have 2 that I recommend, and that is The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. It's the latest one I read, but it's a really good book, and I would probably rate that one a 9 out of 10. Wow. I liked it, and I read it in 2 days.
What's that one about?
It's about this kid, I think Tim or something like that, and he goes to his grandparents' farm, and pretty much his grandparents are acting super weird.
Mad sus.
They replaced their one scarecrow with 12 creepy looking ones, and night by night, the main kids sneak out, and the scarecrows like touch them.
Wow.
And it turns out that it's all the wind. But later on in the book, we see that they're actually alive. But it's a really good book, that one. And then, hold on, I have to sneeze. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
And then one of the first Goosebumps book that I ever read was at my school library, and that one was Don't Go to Sleep. It's my second favorite one I've ever read. That one's 11 out of 10.
Wow.
Like the Cuckoo Clock of Doom. But that one is about this kid who, whenever he goes to sleep, it's pretty much the same concept as the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, but kind of almost as good.
Yeah.
But pretty much whenever he goes to sleep, he's a different person the next day. So like, he goes into the guest bedroom because he thinks his bedroom's too small. So he goes in there and he sneaks in there and he goes to sleep in there. But the next day he's like 4 and he's like this kid who works at the circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has to ride an elephant or no, I think it was a tiger. It's crazy. That book is crazy. And it turns out that he's in like a space anomaly, like a time warp thing.
Oh, an anomaly?
Anomaly, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but at the end he like turns into a squirrel. It just sounds weird, but
doesn't he have to get through the window?
Yeah, he's like sneaks through this like metal bars because he's locked up by the bad guys.
Yeah.
And he's like a squirrel. It's really cool. At one point he's like a goblin.
Wow.
It's really good, and the ending's great because at the ending, on his birthday, his mom says, "I've been thinking about what you said in the beginning of the book," and she says, "I'm gonna let you keep the guest bedroom."
Oh no!
And now this is just gonna keep continuing unless he sneaks into his old room and sleeps in it.
Major plot twist.
Yeah, so that one was great, but yeah, that's pretty much.
All right, show them one more time the cover.
The cover. So here's the cover of the thing that I got, and here is the back. It says the G for Goosebumps, and then the covers for the book. Here's the Haunted School. Piano lessons can be murderous. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
Very cool.
Stay out of the basement. And finally, the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
Yeah.
And then I think I've read like 9, but most of them were good. Except for the Slappy World.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you're reading a lot, so there will be more book reviews.
Yeah, there'll probably be more book reviews. Like right now, I recently read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Right now I'm reading The Chamber of Secrets, and I went to the school library the other day and I got The Prisoner of Azkaban. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to read that.
All right.
So I'm going to try and read them all, but yeah, it'll definitely take a while to read all those.
Yeah, they're big ones.
They're really big, especially the 5th book. That's like 870 pages.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, sign off.
Yeah, so thanks for watching DominicTV. I'll see you. Bye.